Hello, warriors! Another day and another music reaction. Randy, our lovely Randy, is taking us back to the 70s and the 80s. I don't know exactly when the song was recorded just yet, or released for that matter. We can check it afterwards. I just saw the very first comment on the YouTube video shows someone said, "Oh, please take me back to the 70s and the 80s. The music was so great." So I can only imagine we're gonna love it because we know we love Randy's music and we kind of love the classics, don't we? I've honestly, we've done so many classics in the last, what is it, 2 weeks now, um, that I actually I keep wanting to listen to it. So even this morning when I went to shower, then I put on some classics, and so I'm kind of in the vibe. So it's good that we are on that train right now and we're enjoying it, and we just going back to when life was a bit, I want to say, simpler. It was easier. I think, based on what I read in books, it looks like there was a lot less effort to survive, in a way. At least for those who stayed at home, the mom and the children. I'm not talking about the men necessarily. They went off to fight wars, which is everything but easy. When they came back, it was also not easy. So, yeah, I think let's just dive into this one, okay? Cool.
I don't know how this whole business started, of you thinking that I had been untrue. But if you think that we'd be better parted, it's gonna hurt me, but I break away from you.
Oh, yikes. Wow.
That's how much I feel for you, baby. How much I need. Well, I need your touch. How much I
Oh, I love his voice.
I live for your loving. That's how much. That's how much.
It's so clean.
That's how much.
Music to my ears. Literally.
Sleep alone and late at night I'm dreaming of the togetherness that seems to believe in me. Oh no, give it all and then I give some more. If you would only love me like you have before. Oh, take hold of my hand,
He articulates so well, it
How's your
actually seems
life
more
been
romantic.
going on? I got a wife now. Years we've been going
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
strong.
ooh. I did see a ring on that finger.
Oh no, there's just something that I got to say. Sometimes when we make love, I still can see your face. Just try to recall when we were as one.
Hold on, am I missing something here? He's actually singing about a different woman after being married. And when he's making love to his woman, his current woman, he still thinks about the previous one. Oh, damn. I'm just like sleep. I'm swooning over here, and then that's why I kind of missed like delayed processing. I think that is what I heard. But first of all, can we just stop and appreciate? I'm actually feeling dizzy right now. Appreciate. I think it's all the hormones flashing to my head. I think every woman just wants to hear a man sing this about her, or at least say it. You don't have to sing it. You can just say it. Not when you're married to someone else, by the way. Then it's too late. It's not going to help me. Say it to me when you're with me, with being my husband or whatever. Anyways, I think I'm swooning because it would be so freaking nice to actually hear a man say that, all of these beautiful words. But his voice, how incredibly... It's as if, you guys know I have an issue with my hearing. Well, tone deafness, I don't actually know how it starts. I don't know what the causes of it. I read about it, but I completely forgot about it again. Selective memory. I find it really difficult to communicate with people when I can't, when they have that specific pitch or specific tone that they speak on. I cannot hear them. That's why I read people's lips. So the problem comes in when people don't even articulate properly, because then their lips also don't move the way that it should. But in his case, and I think I find it really, really attractive when people articulate well, because it's almost as if, they make that little bit of extra effort to speak properly. And I know I'm probably the worst communicator, because my brain just doesn't work at the same pace than what my mouth does, and my thoughts and everything's just confabulated. But when I see this, I can read his lips. Every single word that he sings, I can read. But then also, it sounds like all the words, it's not even just the sound that comes from his diaphragm. It's almost as if the words come from his diaphragm through his throat, and it just showers. Have you guys seen these? And this is a very silly reference, but it's kind of how my brain processes it. When unicorns, or in animations where there's magic coming out of someone's mouth, just rainbows and butterflies and glitter and all the nice things. This is how my brain sees visually. Again, I'm visual. Visually, almost process articulation that is very well done. So he's so much more handsome because I don't have to struggle to hear him. I was swooning until I realized now, I think, that he was actually singing about, or to another woman whilst being happily married. Well, I don't know if he's happily married. The fact that he thinks about the first one. There is, however, this thing where sometimes relationships don't work out for whatever reason. I think we're gonna have to read the lyrics, because I'm thinking that I'm not processing everything that he's been singing now. I'm so hung up on this one bit now that kind of makes me feel like he was singing about a different woman. But if I listen to the rest of the lyrics, he did say that he would leave. This is how much he feels for her, that he would leave if she doesn't reciprocate, if she doesn't want the same stuff. So Let's continue listening. I want to actually go back slightly bit more so I can just catch a bit more context. And then I might, by the end of the song, we might go and read the lyrics. Okay. It's an ending so bloody beautiful. I mean, why wouldn't we? Huh? How much I feel. Here we go.
That's how much. So you try to stay in the middle, and then you cry just a little. Then you both realize just how foolish you've been. And you try to make amends, but you better off as friends. 'Cause that's how much. That's how much. That's how much. That's how much. How's your life been going on?
Yeah, they definitely separated.
Now, years we've been going strong.
Okay. Happily married.
Oh no, there's just something that I got to say. Sometimes when we make love, I still can see your face. Just try to recall when we were as one. That's how much I feel for you, baby. How much I need your touch. How much
You see, this just proves my point. Well, not prove it, just contributes towards my point that I made the other day in a different reaction, whereby I said men take far longer. Again, this is a study that I read. No, it's not my opinion. Men take far longer to move on, and that is if they ever move on 100%. If it was a really, really good relationship and they were, let's go with soulmates, it tends to stick even when they remarry, even when they have beautiful kids. It's just they'll always go and think back about this one that they had. And it might not be the same for the female, or it might actually be, but they realized for whatever reason that. And I think that's why the cosmic world is so complicated, because you would have this partner who you have connected on such a level that is, it almost can't be explained. It's not just your typical, oh, I fall in love and we're happy, we don't have any issues. It's not timid. It is a complete, my world falls apart when things don't go right, or like there's a soul merge that happens, a energy, a mental, it's cosmic. Let's go with that word. I kind of like that word. It has a lot of meaning, a lot of oomph, a lot of spectacular power and energy, basically, that draws each other in. Draws one another in. I've experienced it, but I don't think I've experienced it to a point where I, on the other hand, have become really good at cutting ties, burning bridges, breaking free spiritually, emotionally, mentally. But to this day, it's been, I think, 11, 12 years. It's been 12 years since the breakup. And to this day, this man, even though he's moved on, he's with someone else, he would from time to time somehow find my contacts or my details and email me and say, by the way, do you remember this and this and this moment? Or do you remember just how amazing we were? So I'm like, it's not helping anyone now, buddy. Like, we've moved on. You made your decision. I made my decision. Yes, it was epic. It was an epic love. And then it ended. Um, it took me years. I mean, guys, fast forward. I'm still single 12 years later. So you can see just how it impacted me. But it doesn't help them to kind of haunt me after so many years. So luckily for me, I've really worked hard on breaking that connection, like almost unmerging. I suppose it will never be 100%, but I don't have the same. I don't go back down to memory lane, for instance, anymore. I haven't for many years. Um, so when he does email me, I've almost, again, I do this with just about everything in my life. I detach. So I have detached my emotion from what I've experienced back then in order for me to move on healthy, in order for me to, again, at some point, get into a healthy relationship without all the baggage and stuff. So I've taken the time, I've healed. I'm very proud of myself, by the way, for healing to the extent that I have. I've become wiser, I've become smarter. And so listening to this song, I see now this other person that I'm talking about in this song, because it's basically identical. But back to this amazing man singing with his amazing vocals. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, his voice is so strong. There was no effort. It's like his mouth opens and just pure emotion comes out. Pure vocals. I want to say words. I want to say stories. I want to say memories. Just, it comes out. So I can see why people want to live or go back to the 70s and the 80s. I want to go back to the 70s and the 80s. Let me just drink my spicy, otherwise I'm going to keep coughing. I love it when a man feels this deeply. I love it when I feel this deep. Well, I always feel deeply until such time that I detach. But that is always by choice in order to protect myself and be healthy and move on, you know. Yeah. It's almost, if I put myself in his shoes, there will always be a little bit of, I think, regret. I sense a little bit of regret, even though he didn't have much choice in the matter. I mean, even though she did realize she was foolish at some point, there's no amount of convincing that you can do in order to make someone stay with you. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if there's doubt, you can work at it. Absolutely. You have to work at it. I mean, again, marriages lasted so much longer. And if you look at the statistics, marriages actually lasted a lifetime back in the day, 100 years ago. Today, it's so easy. Go to court, get divorced. Oh, because we had a squabble. Really? You didn't work at it. You didn't try and see it from the other person's point of view. You didn't say, you know what, okay, maybe this time around, let's agree to disagree, but let's move on. Let's do something nice together tomorrow, or let's, go and go back down to go back to basics. Like, revisit the memories of why we fell in love in the first place, and then we build on that. Because yes, life changes, the stresses get added to combination, which makes relationships so much harder to build on and make it successful at the end of the day. But anybody who's older will tell you relationships take work, marriages take work. It's unfortunately because of the instant life we live in these days and instant gratification and everything has to happen now. People don't have the patience to work on their relationships anymore. Um, I'm not saying when there's obvious, very obvious red flags, then no, by all means, flip and end it as soon as you can because it's going to be disastrous. But when it's two really good people, and again, I love reading old books, okay? Old novels that were written on the 1800s and the very early 1900s, because it's all these beautiful daughters are raised to get married. They need to cook well. They need to and know how to do. They need to be good seamstresses. I think that's a word. They need to know what it means to make their husband happy and don't let him stress. Take off the load when he gets home. Make sure you bring babies into the world so that he has a bloodline to continue. Help him with his legacy, be strong for him, all those beautiful and pure and wonderful things. And then the boys, they will leave school very early on. They'll go work with their fathers, they'll go to the military, they'll learn discipline, they'll learn what it means to be a man, they'll go fight probably in the war, come back, an adult man, and then the parents will say, okay, it's time to get married. And either you were lucky enough to fall in love with someone and your parents approve, or if it's more like, no, you have to now marry this family's daughter. I know it's not always a great thing, arranged marriages. However, again, if you look at statistics, it kind of works because the people stay together. But even if you fall in love and you got to get married, you would have worked on that so that you don't have to disappoint your parents, so that you don't have to. It was shameful to get divorced or to even suggest divorce in the early 1900s and late 1800s. So you freaking made that work. You made sure that you keep each other happy. The husband made sure that there's food on the table, that the kids go to school, that the family had everything they needed, that the woman had a good status, and it was good. It was pure. So that's why I love getting lost in those stories. It's always sad if one becomes a widow because the men would remarry to take care of the kids, or there needs to be someone to take care of the kids. Whereas the females, when their husbands die, it was a lot tougher because sometimes they'll have a piece of land that now, obviously, the man is not bringing in money anymore, so she needs to make do. She needs to find a way to still provide for the kids, to keep the land and not lose it to the bank or whatever the case might be. I don't know. I'm referencing so many different novels, even true stories that I've read in my brain now as I'm telling you guys this. But that was a magical time that I wish I could experience a lifelong commitment like that. Yeah, it's just this song just took me back to all of that. I mean, that alone should show you all the magic wrapped up in the song there. Yeah, I hope all of you still have your wives and they make you happy, and I hope the men, you make your wives happy and you give them the best life that they deserve and that they've earned through supporting you and standing by you. And woman, I hope you do the same for your men. I hope your men are there for you to support you and keep you strong as well and take care of the kiddos. Different times, very different times. I'm stuck in the past, clearly. I don't like this 2025 vibes. Thank you, Randy. This was amazing. Guys, this was a song How Much I Feel by Ambrosia. I think Ambrosia is how you pronounce it. Just lovely, 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 lovely. I want more. I will check you guys in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.